Yeah, they give Maryland a lot of credit. They were a lot better than us tonight, and it showed in every aspect. I thought the game plan in the first half defensively, it worked fairly well, except for the inability to get a rebound. Them being plus 20 at halftime and the second chance points, and obviously we're probably not going to out rebound Maryland, but limit them. We didn't do a good job of limiting them, and then allowed them to get a lot of putbacks in that first half. I thought offensively we were poor in the first half. Just our inability to be patient. We took a lot of quick shots and tough shots, and that's one of the things. They're really good defensively. You got to make them have to guard, and we didn't do that. I did think the second half our shots were better. We didn't make them in the third quarter, but I liked these shots that we got a whole lot better in the second half, even though we struggled to make them in the third quarter. But I thought these two battled and really fought, and didn't play to the score. But we needed some others to step up and join them. I thought Petra and Jalen did a good job on the defensive rebounds, getting 6. But we need some. You look at their bench, and every one of their players stepped up and made shots, and we didn't get enough of that tonight, for sure.
Well, we didn't play as a team offensively tonight, I would say. It was a lot of. I mean, look at we had 3 assists the entire game, so a lot of it was. I mean, we were trying to create our own shots, which there's a time to do that, but we definitely need to, as a team, get everybody scoring and everybody doing their part, because clearly if we're the only ones doing anything, it's not going to work out. You have to. There's no other option, yeah. So we're done. We'll see what we can learn from it, and then we'll be ready for Penn State. Honestly, they're a great team, but our shooting percentage was just – it was just a rough game for our shooting percentage. We were getting a lot of open shots. Maybe not a lot of open necessarily, but we took good shots. But they weren't falling, and we need them to fall. I think that's the only thing that we can do. No matter what the score is, if you're up by a lot, if you're down by a lot, if it's close, I think as a team, we need to approach it the same and just work hard until the end.
Yeah, I think that this says a lot about mentality. Like what she said, no matter how many points you're down by, how many points you're up by, like that still should be a part of your personnel. Like playing hard is just something that you have to do. You got to keep going hard, regardless of how the score looks. So, how you're playing, So.
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team, and they showed why they're ranked 3rd in the country and why they're 20-1 with their only loss being to Connecticut all year. They do everything well, and they certainly are the best rebounding team that we face for sure. But they share the basketball, they go to the boards, they've got mentality. Even when they were up, they still played with a lot of mentality, and give Coach Freeze a lot of credit for that, because a lot of teams, when they get a lead, they don't play the same, and they kept playing, they kept attacking the glass and kept playing hard and playing with enthusiasm no matter what the score, and give them credit for that. Yeah, that's what you aspire to be. They've lost 2 Big Ten games in 3 years. That's what we aspire to be, is to be like that, and obviously we got to get more players, and we got to grow and get better, and obviously Maryland is that's what you aspire to be right there, and the way they played tonight and the way they've played for the last 3 years. Yeah, I agree with the second half. I did not agree with the start of the game. I think we missed a couple. Allie had a great open 3 early on a pick and pop. I think her and Courtney, had they made, a couple of shots, we just never really got those two going. I thought the 10 threes those two took were good looks. But we did, in the first half, we did take an awful lot of tough shots, and we didn't make them guard. They're just too long and too good of team that you're going to make a high percentage when you're trying to shoot, in the first action, whether no matter what that action is. They're too good defensively. You're going to have to work harder to break them down. And then when you get the open shots, you got to make them. But I felt like, we didn't. The shooting was a little bit contagious, so we just never really got going. Yeah, I think the natural thing in high school, when their team got down, they think, "Oh, I'll go make it happen," And so then you step up and you shoot, and Petra too, that's the kind of natural reaction. In high school, they're good enough to make it happen, and in here, Maryland's too good. Without good action, you're just not going to get a great shot. And I think we did some of that first half. We got, we're down. Hey, I'll get us back into it. Instead of waiting and letting the offense get us back into it and getting our shot, we tried to get my shot a little bit. Yeah, I mean, one thing I did point out the shooting percentages. I mean, you look at the shots, and again, the third quarter I think was a little skewed because we got 5 or 6 wide open threes in the corner in the third quarter. But the first half, we shot 33% in the first quarter and 25. And I think part of that was not taking the right shots. Yeah, she makes it go for sure. She's an incredible point guard, just really good pass. I think she had 11 assists in the last game. She finds the post players. Somebody's open, she sees it, and she gets the ball in their hands for sure. And just really good passing point guard. And she can make shots. She made 2 threes and shoots the ball well. And yeah, she's a really good point guard and plays that doesn't look like a freshman on the floor for sure. Yeah, I told Brenda before the game, I said, go win a national championship for this conference because they have the talent to do it. Obviously, a lot of things have to happen to make that happen, but they have the talent to compete. And, I think the 2 seniors, they have to play well. Walker Kimbrough and Jones, because they do have some younger kids as well, but they have the personnel to compete for a national championship, and it's great for the Big Ten to have that. And I think Ohio State is in that ballpark too. Now they haven't played probably as consistent as Maryland, but one of their best post players was hurt a little bit too, the Mavunga. So I think Ohio State has the pieces to those two can be both dream about and think about making a run for a national championship. Yeah, just give them credit. Obviously, a lot of them were in the first half where I felt like offensive rebounds and then trying to keep them from putting it back in. But yeah, we didn't move very well, and I think our freshmen, I think they probably let some of the shooting woes. I just didn't feel like we moved very well defensively. And when you don't move well, then you end up grabbing or reaching, when you don't get your body in front of them. And I think we did that, and that led to a lot of fouls. But again, their offensive rebounds led to a lot of fouls as well. Yeah, I had the flu. I still had a fever at 4:30 today, and unfortunately, it's running through our team, and it definitely affected our energy tonight. But yeah, Kennedy's had the flu and still had a fever. Some of the other ones had the flu throughout the week, but they did not have a fever today. Yeah, I think we didn't anticipate real well. I think I think we let some of the open shots that we missed with Courtney and Allie, and they just didn't move well defensively, and Ashley as well. And you got to be able to be a great defender. I think Allie and Brandi did that. Jalen tried. Be a great defender whether you make shots or not, and bring that to us. And I did not feel like as we rotated we did that very well, especially with our bench.